Interpol. Interpol is the most largest international police organization, and its full name is the International Criminal Police Organization. They are conceptualized in 1920s and formerly known as International Police Commission. Interpol is an intergovernmental organization. As of 2020, they have 194 member countries, and they help police in all of them to work together and to make the world a safer place. We also have our first Filipino president of Interpol, which is Jolly R. Bugarin, in the year 1981 to 1984. The idea of Interpol was originated with the first International Criminal Police Congress in 1914, which brought officials from 24 countries to discuss cooperation on law enforcement matters. At 1923, after the First World War, the idea of an international police body was revived by Johannes Schuber, president of the Vienna Police. The International Criminal Police Commission was established in September 1923 with headquarters in Vienna. Wanted person notices were first published in the International Public Safety Journal. The organization's official name is ICPO Interpol. The official abbreviation ICPO stands for International Criminal Police Organization. In French, this is OIPC, which stands for Organisation Internationale de Police Criminelle. The word Interpol is a contradiction of international police and was chosen in 1946 as the telegraphic address. Until 1956, the organization was known as the International Criminal Police Commission. The logo in use since 1950 comprises the following elements. Number 1, a representation of the globe to indicate that Interpol's activity are worldwide. Number 2, olive branches either side of the globe to symbolize peace. Number 3, the name Interpol below the globe in the center of the olive branches. Number 4, a vertical sword behind the glove symbolizing police action. 5, the abbreviations OICP and ICPO above the glove, either side of the sword. And number 6, the scales below the olive branches symbolizes justice. The flag has been used since 1950, and it has a light blue background. The logo is in the center. The 4 lightning flashes arranged symmetrically around the emblem, which symbolizes telecommunication and speed in police action. Protection of Interpol's distinctive signs. As an international organization, Interpol's distinctive signs are protected by the 1883 Paris Convention for the Protection of Industrial Property. Under the terms of Article 6 of this convention, which has been ratified by the majority of Interpol's member countries, the signatories countries have agreed to refuse to register as a trademarks and ban use of coats of arms, flags, emblems, initials, and names of states and intergovernmental organizations. The organization logo and the name Interpol have, in addition, been registered as European Community and US trademarks. There's a need of authorization to use Interpol's distinctive sign. In exceptional cases, the organization may authorize a third party to use its distinctive signs. Authorization can only be given by Interpol's Secretary General. In any event, authorization to use the organization's distinctive signs is limited. Number 1, authorization is given for a specific identified project. Number 2, the duration of the authorization is specified. Number 3, authorization does not confer any exclusive rights. Number 4, The signs may not be modified or adapted, and where appropriate, the media, which is document, films, etc., must be submitted to the organization for approval before publication. And last, Interpol may automatically revoke the entitlement to use its distinctive sign if it transpires that the project is likely to prejudice. Is likely to prejudice its reputation or image. The Interpol has made their priorities to provide an enhanced focus and effective direction for their programs and activities during their period. They have two priorities, which is the strategic priorities and corporate priorities. These priorities are in line with the organization's vision and mission and reflect the dynamic environment and challenges in international policing in the 21st century. There are four strategic priorities of Interpol. Number 1 is to secure global communication system. Interpol has developed a global police communication system, also known as I-24/7, which enables any member country to request for and submit and access vital data instantly in a secure environment. Liaison Bureau is connected to this system, and frontline officers can obtain Interpol services via LB. Number 2 is 24/7 support to policing and law enforcement. It provides round-the-clock support and a wide range of operational assistance to our member countries, which includes emergency and crisis response. They are committed to further improving the response time, follow-up, and the integrated nature of their response. Number 3 is the capacity building. In the capacity building, they are committed to enhance the tools and services that they provide in the area of law enforcement training and to raise standards in international policing and security infrastructures. They work with partners and stakeholders in order to build the capacity of police services in countries in need and to empower them to respond effectively to the challenges of transnational crime. And number 4 is assisting member countries in identification of crimes and criminals. They provide the highest quality database services, analytical capabilities, and other innovative tools to assist in preventing crime. They aim to further improve their criminal information databases and better support their integration along with analytical or investigative method and mechanisms. To ensure organizational health and sustainability. They strengthen their core infrastructure, improving their business model and communicating their long-term relevance in terms of policing and law enforcement leadership and support. They also strengthen their business infrastructure and delivery support mechanism in order to ensure efficient delivery of their core products and services. They also have other objectives that will focus on their human resources and staff well-being, communication strategies, and building support of our strategic priorities. Second is the institutional and legal support. Institutional and legal support, they recognize the importance of efficient governance mechanisms, the need to develop the strategic and geographical outreach for the organization, and to find innovative solutions to complement Interpol's funding. This institutional effort needs to be supported by solid legal foundation. They will focus efforts on enhancing the legal stability and foundation for international activities, including ensuring compliance with Interpol rules and regulations. One of the overriding considerations is to enhance the organization's neutrality and independence. Moreover, they also establish the Strategic Framework 2017-2020 in the roadmap to achieving their 5 key goals. Strategic Framework 2017-2020. Number 1. Serve as the worldwide information hub for law enforcement cooperation. In here, they continue to reinforce their technical infrastructure, expanding access to their services and enabling interoperability with other relevant information systems. The exchange of police information lies at the core of their mandate, and they connect the national central bureaus of their member countries via their secure communication channels. Number 2. Deliver state-of-the-art policing capabilities that support member countries to fight. Deliver state-of-the-art policing capabilities that support member countries to fight and prevent transnational crimes. They seek to serve as the catalyst for efforts in global, regional, national, and local law enforcement, and they offer a range of policing capabilities and expertise such as databases, forensics, and training. The ICOR project, which is the Interpol's capabilities for operational relevance, is evaluating the range of services they offer their membership to ensure it will meet tomorrow's global policing needs. ICOR developed a framework of common criteria which will be used to produce an agile portfolio for effective policing capabilities. Number 3. Lead globally innovative approaches to policing. Innovation is at the core of their working culture. As the leader in global law enforcement, they focus on the future trends and strategic foresight, providing a forum to challenge the status quo of law enforcement and generate innovative ideas. Number 4. Maximize Interpol's role within the global security architecture. They seek to unite the international community around common goals and security and to strengthen the international law enforcement capabilities to meet those goals. It is through this strategic partnership that they further cement their impact on the global law enforcement landscape. Operation Opson is an annual collaboration between Interpol and Europol, which brings together police, customs, and national food regulatory authorities to remove counterfeit and substandard food and drinks from the market. Project Cream Just is implemented in partnership with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and Transparency International. It aims to strengthen criminal investigation and criminal justice cooperation. And number 5 is consolidate resources and governance structures for enhanced operational performance. They continue to modernize the structures and processes to ensure the efficient and effective delivery of their capabilities and services. They offer a continued commitment to transparency and oversight through robust monitoring and evaluation mechanisms. Their human resources strategy is committed to training and skill development, enhancing leadership capabilities, and sourcing the most effective talent for our future.
Areas of forensic expertise. First is disaster victim identification, or what we call DVI. The process of identifying victims of major disasters such as terrorist attacks or earthquake is readily possible by visual recognition. Comparison of fingerprint, dental records, or DNA sample with ones stored in database or taken from victims' personal effects are often required to obtain a conclusive identification. International coordination. When a major disaster occurs, one country alone may not have sufficient resources to deal with mass casualties. In some cases, the incident may have damaged or destroyed the country's existing emergency response infrastructure, making the task of victim identification even more difficult. A coordinated effort by an international community can significantly speed up the victim recovery and identification process, ena- enable victims' families to begin the healing process and societies to rebuild, and in event of the terrorism incident, assisting investigators to identify possible attackers. A range of support. Member countries can call on Interpol for assistance in disaster victim identification, or what we call DVI, immediately in the aftermath of disaster. The service offered by Interpol include downloadable DVI guide, or what we call incident response team to provide further assistance upon request, such as on-site investigative support or connection to Interpol databases. Multi-dimensional approach. This is the activity are supported by the steering group and standing committee in disaster victim identification, both of which are made up of forensic and police experts. The steering group formulated Interpol DVI policy and strategic planning, while the standing committee meets regularly to discuss improvement to procedure and standard in DVI matters. Policies and guidelines have been produced in one following areas are backed up by training programs. There are five activities supported: victim care and family support, occupational care for DBI teams, compliance with international standard and forensic quality assurance controls, information sharing and exchange, operational assistance to countries which lack DBI capacity. For the number two is DNA, or what we call deoxyribonucleic acid. Molecules contain the information all living cells in the human body need to function. They also control the inheritance of characteristics from parents to offspring. With the exception of identical twins, each person's DNA is unique, which makes DNA sampling useful for solving crimes, identifying victims of disaster, and locating missing persons. For the data protection, this profile does not contain information about a person's physical or psychological characteristics, disease, or predisposition for disease. Member countries that use the DNA Gateway retain ownership of their profile data and control its submission, access by other countries, and the destruction in accordance with their national laws. Promoting standard ethics and best practice, the DNA Gateway is developed to its internationally recognized standard to facilitate the electronic transfer of DNA data between Interpol and its member countries. The gateway is also compatible with the EU Prüm Convention, a 2005 initiative to simplify data exchange in EU countries, and for selected international export of DNA profile for countries using CODIS, the FBI designed DNA matches software. The G8 DNA Search and Request Network uses Interpol's 24/7 system and DNA standards to communicate profile among G8 countries. Additional to the DNA Gateway, Interpol strongly supports the increased use of DNA profiling. A DNA users conference for investigative officer held every 2 years examine develop in DNA applications and encourage the widespread use the best practice in DNA technology in criminal investigation. Regional and national Interpol DNA workshops are organized to encourage and facilitate international DNA exchange through the Interpol DNA Gateway. Connecting crimes through DNA. DNA sample recovered from crime scene in France, Switzerland, and United Arab Emirates revealed links between three different types of crime: armed robbery, prison escape, and the use of forged travel documents in between groups of individuals. This case shows clearly the way that different crime types overlap and affect multiple countries, and it highlights the importance of sharing DNA profiles and other police data through Interpol system. And the second to the last is fingerprint. Fingerprint evidence play a crucial role in criminal investigation since person fingerprints are unique and do not change during the course of their life. They can be used to quickly and efficiently confirm or disprove a person's identity, for example, in checking a suspect at a border crossing. In addition, marks can be collected at the crime scene and have the potential to link a series of crimes together or to place a suspect at the scene. Fingerprint, fingerprints play an equally important role in identifying victims following a disaster such as a cyclone, earthquake, bombing, or other attack. Interpol Fingerprint Database. At Interpol, we manage a database of fingerprints containing more than 151,000 fingerprints records and more than 5,000 crime scene marks. Authorized users member countries can view, submit, and cross-check records using 24/7 Interpol Secure Global Police Communication Network via or using friendly automatic fingerprint identification systems.
There are 8 types of notice in Interpol. Number 1 is red notice. The red notice means to seek the arrest or provisional arrest of wanted person with a view to extradition. Red notice allow member countries to inform each other about criminal suspects and thus allow other member states to arrest the suspect pending extradition. Red notice are issued by the member states and thus not Interpol itself. The red notice will alert police forces about the person's appearance and their personal documentation as well as the criminal offense with which they have been charged. Number 2. Yellow notice. To help locate missing persons, often minors, or to help identify persons who are unable to identify themselves. These notices are given in cases of child abduction, kidnappings, and in times of unexplained disappearances. Green notice. To warn about a person's criminal activities if that person is considered to be a possible threat to public safety. This type of notice can be provided in the case that police forces which wish to warn each other about people suspected of being a danger to the public. Those people who are police warned about are those who have committed criminal offenses before and are deemed to be likely to commit them again. These notices are used regularly when it comes to warnings about serial sex offenders. Number 4. Orange notice. To warn an event, a person, an object, or a process representing an imminent threat and danger to persons or property. Such dangers can refer to the dangers to people or property. Blue notice. To locate, identify, or obtain information on a person of interest in criminal investigation. Blue Notice operate in a similar manner to Red Notice, but they are not the same. Blue Notice are in place in order to find out additional information about suspect. It is concerned with the movements of a suspect or witness but does not provide for their arrest. It is not an international arrest warrant. Therefore, in such cases, the person to whom the notice concerns may not have been convicted of any crime. Instead, they are being sought after they may be able to provide more information when it comes to criminal law case. Black Notice. To seek information on identified bodies. A black notice is given when Interpol need information around identified bodies. In many of these cases, the person found may have been using false identities. Interpol will circulate photographs of the body and, when possible, fingerprints, as well as information about the body in order to help with the Purple Notice. To provide information on modus operandi, objects, devices, and concealment methods used by the criminals. A purple notice is issued when police forces seeks information on how a criminal operates, as well as the objects and devices they use, as well as their hiding places. Purple notice have been used to find ships connected with poaching and piracy in the past. Interpol, United Nations Security Council, and Special Notice. It is issued for individuals and entities that are subject to UN sanctions. Infrared, also known as Operation Infrared, is an Interpol initiative to locate and arrest serious, long-term international fugitives. On the run from justice, these criminals have committed crimes such as murder, child sexual abuse, drug trafficking, and money laundering.